Welcome to the break-even point analysis. What's the break-even? Just in short, that's the point where I'm changing from loss to profit. That's the quantity of products I have to sell that I'm being profitable and not producing loss anymore. And in my coordinate system, I have two lines. The horizontal line, that's the quantity line. Quantity of cup of coffees, quantity of chairs, quantity of overnight stays in my hotel. And the vertical line, that's the money line, like costs, like turnover. And I have three elements in my diagram. First, I have the fixed costs. What is that, fixed costs? Fixed costs are costs I have because I'm existing, even if I don't produce and sell one product. So that could be the building, the rent of my building, the machines, the investment of the machines. This is also the insurances I have to pay. So all this kind of costs I have because I'm existing, but not yet producing. Also the salaries, the monthly salaries are fixed costs. But that's just the first part of the costs. I have other costs, the variable costs. The variable costs are costs because I am producing. And that could be the material, that could be, is the electricity, that could be also the phone costs. If I'm calling, I have costs. If I'm not calling, I don't have costs. And if I'm producing not one product, how many costs do I have? Zero costs, yes. And every piece I produce more, I have more costs. So it's this kind of line. The fixed costs I have the whole year, even not producing. And then the variable costs I have because I'm producing. So if I don't produce one piece, I have zero costs. If I produce more products, the variable costs are increasing because I need more raw material. I need more electricity for my machines and all that kind of costs. And the third line, it's the turnover line. What's my turnover if I sell no products, zero products? It's zero, yes. So this line will start by zero and will climb up straight. So if I have 1,000 products, I will make that turnover. If I sell 2,000 products, I will save double of the turnover. So it's a straight line. And then these are the third elements: the fixed costs, the cost because I am existing, the variable costs, the cost because I'm producing, and the turnover, which is increasing piece by piece sold. If I'm selling that amount of my products, I have that turnover, but I have these costs. So here I'm losing money. If I have that amount, that quantity of sold products, I have my turnover, but still a loss left. And now from here, that's the point where it's turning from profit to loss. So that part here is the loss zone, and above I'm in the profit zone. If I have this quantity, I have this turnover, that turnover, and these costs. So I'm producing now here a certain profit. So that's very short the theory of the break-even point. Which question you should ask now? Now what? This point here, that's the most important question. Where is that point in my company? So it's maybe here. Huh? I have this quantity to produce to get in the profit zone. It's like this, so like this. Now again, now what? With the knowledge of this quantity, I have to ask myself, am I able to produce this quantity of my products? Do I have enough space to produce and store? Do I have enough employees to produce? Are my machine capacity sufficient to produce this quantity of products? These are all these questions you have to ask yourself with the knowledge of your break-even point. It's not a question of turnover, it's a question of quantity. Is it possible to get that many guests in your hotel to get this number, this quantity of overnight stays? Is it possible? Can you handle it with your employees, with your infrastructure? That's the question. And I have another diagram, but the same. As you can see, it's exactly the same diagram, but with another setup. First, you have the variable costs, and then you have the fixed costs with a parallel line. And it's the same with loss zone and profit zone. But something is different now. It's more easy to see. If I'm here with this 9 here, I have this quantity of pieces with that turnover here. So I'm not already in the profit zone. I'm still in the loss zone. But something is now visible. Here. You will get a certain money to cover your fixed costs. The variable costs are covered. But now up here you have a part of contribution margin. Now this turnover contributes to your fixed costs. With this turnover, it's possible to cover part of your fixed costs. Without selling and producing, you will have these fixed costs, the whole line. But sometimes it's wise to produce a specific product, even on a lower price, because as an advertisement maybe, and to get the customer in your showroom maybe for this cheaper product. He's interested to come and to have a look, and for sure he will buy other products of your company with a higher contribution margin, with a higher price. So if you do this diagram per product, you can see what is the contribution margin of this product, and you can decide and you ask yourself if I'm still producing it or I'm stopping it. Or it's that attractive for the customers that you will lower the price to get the customer to your company, to your showroom, and to have the ability to sell more products other products with a better price for you. So it's not always bad to sell a product in a loss zone if you get with this action more customers to your showroom and to make some more turnover with other products. There's another thing again. It's all now here in a straight line, but it can change. Sometimes the fixed costs are jumping up. Why? Because with this specific amount, the capacity of your machines are full. You have to invest in a new, bigger, faster machine. And that means you do the investment, you have a new machine, you have maybe a new employee, a specific, specialized employee, and from that point on of quantity, your fixed costs are jumping up and then again increasing parallel. What will happen? The break-even point is not here anymore. The break-even point is also climbing up. So it's now here, maybe it's here. So with this diagram here, you have to ask, are my production capacity sufficient to produce this amount? Or do I have to invest to additional machines, and that will result in jumping fixed costs?